Welcome, you may begin.
Thank you, Chair Stewart. Chairman Stewart and members of the House Finance Committee, thank you for your support of Ohio's food banks and for the opportunity to testify on Substitute House Bill 96. As Executive Director for the Ohio Association of Food Banks, I am here representing Ohio's 12 Feeding America food banks and their thousands of local food pantry, soup kitchen, shelter, and supplemental feeding partners across every county in Ohio. We are grateful for the investment of $24.55 million per year in the state-funded food purchase programs that help us put fruits, vegetables, protein, dairy, and staple products on the shelves of nearly 2,000 local food pantries and 1,600 soup kitchens and shelters. This is equal to the level of core operating funding we've received each year, beginning in July 2019. Since then, according to the USDA Economic Research Service, from 2020 to 2024, the All Food Consumer Price Index rose over 23%. Therefore, to maintain our purchasing power despite these major increases in inflation, we are respectfully requesting your support of an additional $4.93 million per fiscal year. We acknowledge that resources are constrained and are moderating our request of you today in recognition of these constraints. We are humbly urging support for an inflationary adjustment to this core funding level of an additional $4.93 million, as outlined in an amendment we have had redrafted, Amendment Number 2243. This amount is less than the rate of inflationary increases to food prices impacting our purchasing power, but we, like Ohio consumers and the state of Ohio, will continue to find creative ways to maximize the impact of our funds. These funds will meaningfully help us keep up with the increased food costs, serving a vital role in preventing hunger for vulnerable Ohioans and supporting Ohio agriculture. Your support for this modest adjustment will go directly to purchasing healthy, wholesome foods and distributing them to people struggling to make ends meet across all 88 counties in Ohio. Additionally, we stand ready to partner with the legislature to ensure eligible families and seniors have access to critical nutrition safety nets, including support for House Bill 163. This legislation recognizes that vulnerable families and seniors are being preyed upon by organized criminals, losing benefits for which they were eligible, and then can no longer receive replacement benefits to buy groceries that they need. Currently, food banks are receiving referrals from ODJFS and county offices from these victims of SNAP benefit theft. We're doing the best we can to help. And the federal government, unfortunately, is no longer providing replacement benefits to victims of SNAP benefit theft. In closing, the Ohio Association of Food Banks and our members are prepared to continue to leverage 85,000 unduplicated volunteers that will contribute 360,000 volunteer hours, valued at about $10.5 million each year of the biennium, and source an estimated 140 million pounds of donated and privately purchased foods, valued at about $220 million each year of the biennium. We provide a significant third-party maintenance of effort contribution under TANF to the state's overall investments in health and human services through leveraging these charitable contributions. I thank you again for your support and urge the committee and House leadership to support $4.93 million per year in additional funding for the Ohio Association of Food Banks core food purchase programs in its Omnibus. Thank you, Chair Stewart and distinguished members of the House Finance Committee. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have at this time.
Questions from the committee. Representative Ritter.
Thanks for coming in today. I commented on this in the hall to you, but I think it would benefit the whole committee. One of my great frustrations is watching SNAP benefits be used for things that are going to cause bad health down the road. And we're going to end up paying more in hospital costs to take care of folks that, at least in my view, are sometimes making poor choices. I had an opportunity to tour a food bank recently, and I was shocked at what I saw, the healthiness of the food. Could you talk a little bit about your thoughts on what you're giving out to folks and the nutritional value of that?
Through the chair, to Representative Ritter, thank you for visiting us in Marietta and taking a look at the local food pantry and being with us in conversation. I think that's probably what our main concern is about losing purchasing power, is because healthy foods do cost more for us as well as for families. And what we do with these funds is procure the foods that we can't get through our other streams. So we are reliant on donations, and we're rescuing food wherever we can. We're sending trucks out to our local retailers and manufacturers to bring that donated product in, but we're a little bit at the whim of the donated channels on what the quality of that product is. With these funds, we can source lean proteins, dairy items, fresh fruits and vegetables, and make sure that those are supplied across the state to families facing hunger. So I appreciate you taking note of that and for being with us.
Follow up. Representative White.
Thank you, Rep. Stewart, Chair, and Jory for coming in. I wonder, I know in my area we have a fantastic initiative with getting prisoners from the Women's Correctional and collaborating with the food bank to do working and building skills, and then some of them are actually getting employment after they leave the prison. Can you tell me how many of our food bank groups are doing that kind of initiative and what we can do as a legislature to further support that?
Through the chair to Representative White, thank you. Yeah, we have food banks that operate a variety of different workforce development programs. I'll name a few. You're correct that our food bank in the Montgomery County area have a very special partnership and reentry in their community. So they're, of course, focused on meeting basic needs and access to food, but also looking at how they can wrap around other supportive services. Similarly, our Free Store Food Bank down in Cincinnati operates a couple of different workforce development programs. One is their longtime partnership, Cincinnati Cooks, where they're training sometimes justice-involved individuals that have employment challenges to get access to employment in the culinary services, and they're preparing meals for our local kids meals as well. So we're training them, providing them certifications, and then getting them connected. Our Greater Cleveland Food Bank operates a new community resource center where they partner with a variety of other supportive services and nonprofits to wrap services around again. And I think what's important is that we have healthy food available to bring people in the door, meet that basic need today. You know, if I'm a mother with kids and I want to think about next week and next month and next year, I need to meet their basic needs today. And then I can focus on those long-term options. So we're always looking and very involved in other wraparound services and delivery. Thank you.
Follow up. Other questions?
Chairman.
Rep. Troy.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Director, for all you do. Obviously familiar with your work, working and helping with the Cleveland area food bank. But I guess, in terms of these dollars now that you're asking for more from us, I mean, how far are they being stretched? Because I guess depending upon your religion, either there are wonderful things happening in Washington or horrible things happening in Washington. In terms of, your partnership with entities like the U.S. Department of Agriculture in terms of getting the food products that you need. I mean, has this stretched your dollars? I mean, are these costing you more dollars to acquire these things, or these things just maybe are not as available as they used to be?
Through the chair to Representative Troy, we really pride ourselves on being a strong part of Ohio's food supply chain and our agricultural community. Farmers and producers often have volatility in markets. When they plant a crop, they might not know what that market is exactly going to look like several months down the road. They also don't always know the quality of the individual products. So we're often looking to rescue food that would otherwise end up in a landfill or would get mown over in the field because the farmer can't simply extend that additional cost to pick and process and pack that product. So we're trying to offset the cost of them packing and processing that product so it doesn't end up in a landfill and instead gets enjoyed by people facing hunger. But even those picking, packing, and processing costs are a little bit higher than they were, in 2019 when these levels were passed.
Follow up.
Just hoping you're not getting a lot of products from Canada these days. Thank you.
Other questions? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, Chair.
Committee, we have 5 witnesses left, and the order will be, we're going to go with Mick Yinger and Mike Pavolina, then